Welcome back to Guns and Gear Network, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to do this video this afternoon about one of the items that I think all preppers should have at least one pair of. And, you know, you need a set of binoculars. If you look at law enforcement, military, hunters, people like that, they all use binoculars. And the reason is so they can see at distance, and that's what they're designed for. So as a prepper, you want to avoid danger as much as possible. So, you know, no matter what the situation, and I'll just go through a few, you know, if you're trying to see what's going on, maybe in an area, is it bad guys? Do they have guns? You know, at a distance, you just see people. Well, when you start using magnification through binoculars, now I can get more detail. You know, are they young? Are they old? Are they carrying guns? You know, what are they doing? And, you know, whether it be, you know, in a riot situation, you're trying to get some intel, trying to figure out what's going on, you can start seeing things at distance and figuring out more people intentions of what they're doing, not just so much you see people. So I have a bunch of different variations and stuff I've had over the years. I've got some real cheap ones. I've got some middle of the road ones. I've got more expensive ones. And I'll just go over a few. One of my favorite ones, and this one right here is obviously a spotting scope, and it's just an old cheap spotting scope I'd had, painted it OD green back some time ago. It does okay. I've since upgraded it. I've done a couple videos on spotting scopes, and one in particular that I currently use. So my point is, I would rather you have some cheap. Obviously, buy as much as you can afford. Don't go cheap if you don't have to. But if you're on a budget, I understand that. So at least I'd rather you have a cheap pair of binoculars than no binoculars, okay? It's like I'd rather you have a cheap handgun than no handgun, right? So my point to this is, buy something, maybe upgrade, whatever. At minimum, I would have, and I like these, I bought these off eBay. There's some no-name brand, but a lot of people make these. Redfield, Simmons, you name it. There's a bunch of companies out there, Tasco, that's made these over the years, this particular style. It's very compact, lightweight, it's small. Usually a lot of times they come with these little built-in string lanyards here to put around your neck. And these are a simple 10 power, and you get 288 feet field of view at 1,000 yards. So are they the best? No, but they'll get by. And these are compact. They usually all come with a little case a lot of times, just like this one does. It comes with a nice little camo case. And I actually bought like 4 pair of these to just put in bug out bags in different places. And matter of fact, this right here, this particular pair, was in my long range rifle case. Just another set of eyes. Like I said, it's small, compact. This one has a belt loop. It's a decent case. Nothing great, but it's decent. It's like a Cordura, you know, ballistic nylon type fabric. And if you can't afford anything else, at least go to Walmart somewhere, or eBay, Amazon somewhere, and buy you a little cheap pair like this, little compact style. The next one I would recommend is one like this. This is the Celestron Oceana. I've actually done a review, full review on this, and I recently did a review on adding these ARD or anti-reflective devices to it. This one right here I like. It's OD green, not that that matters. They also make this particular one in black. It's got a reticle, a range-finding reticle. It also has a compass built in. The compass is actually lighted. It's lit through a button here you push. Uses 2 button cell batteries. And I won't do a review, but I'm just kind of give you the overview. It's rubber coated, it's waterproof, and it floats. So that's why I like it. It's kind of the middle of the road. And those are going to be, you know, something like this is probably $12 to $15 for something like this. Something like this, you're going to jump up to about $150 to $180, somewhere around there. You know, check for yard sales, check flea markets, places like that. A lot of times they'll have stuff $5 or $10, you know, some fairly decent ones. Some of them are pretty cheap. Sometimes something like this, you might find this at a yard sale table for $1. So, but whatever you do, make sure you have some form of binoculars to be able to see. Now, I like a spotting scope if I'm going to do some shooting, but this right here helps you in your safety, in my opinion. I'll give you another example, like law enforcement, for instance. One of the things that they're taught is when, let's say there's a tractor trailer involved in an accident. One of the things, before you just go bebopping up there with your patrol car, you want to find out from a distance what kind of cargo is in that. A lot of these trucks and trailers will have placards on them and things like that, because sometimes they're hauling things that can kill you. if you just search YouTube, there's some videos around of officers that got killed because they got into some toxic fumes of a accident, especially tractor trailer rigs. So again, you want to make sure that you're looking at things at a distance first before you just go charging up there. If you know, I mean, if you're just normally, out in the area, that's one thing. But if you know there's something going on, again, like a law enforcement scenario where you know that there's an accident, there's no officer ever should be without a pair of binoculars in the patrol car, period. And I feel the same way about a responsible armed citizen. You are a prepper or whatever you want to call them. They should always have a pair of binoculars in their vehicle nearby where they can use them and when need be, in every situation they might run into. So guys, can't stress enough. Like I said, I've got some older pair. Matter of fact, this pair back here was my grandfather's pair that stayed in his car, and he had a couple different pair. He had some that he kept in his car all the time. I just kind of picked up that habit years ago. I remember as a kid him getting them out. He might be looking for game or something, just kind of scanning the area, seeing what's going on, and I just kind of carried that on, and that's, matter of fact, his old pair. This pair back here is a cheap pair I picked up, I think, literally at a yard sale for $1 or $2. So I just kind of buy them, whether I'm using them or not. I already have some decent glass, so I don't really need them, but I'll buy them if they're cheap enough. I'll put them back, friend, neighbor, somebody like that. My wife may need a pair or something for something. I can hand them off to somebody because I picked them up for a couple bucks at a yard sale. But anyway, guys, get you a pair of some type of binoculars. Again, I recommend probably the 2 pair I'd recommend is get you something like this compact. You can even throw that in the dash of your car or whatever, and then get you something a little bigger, a little nicer, like the Celestron Oceana. But anyway, guys, appreciate you tuning in. If you like our videos, give us that thumbs up. That's always helpful for us and appreciative. As always, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll be bringing another video shortly. Have a great day, guys.